Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. So in the last class we have studied how to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a 2 by 2 matrix. In today's class we will see how to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a 3 by 3 matrix. We will also study about complex eigenvalues and some of the properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. The eigenvalue problem. So the first problem is find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of A equal to 1, 2, 1, 6, minus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1. So as we studied in the last lecture, we have to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So we have AK. So first we will find eigenvalues, which are the values of lambda. So we have AK equal to lambda k, which implies A minus lambda I of k equal to 0. So we will write the matrix A minus lambda I. So A minus lambda I is a 3 by 3 matrix. So we will get 1 minus lambda, 2, 1, 6, minus 1, minus lambda, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, minus lambda. Now first we have to find the characteristic equation, and the characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. So determinant of this matrix 1 minus lambda, 2, 1, 6, minus 1, minus lambda, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, minus lambda. So we know how to find the determinant. So we will get, since A is a 3 by 3 matrix, we will get a cubic equation, and the equation is lambda cube plus lambda square minus 12 lambda equal to 0. So this is the characteristic equation. This is the characteristic equation, and its roots are called the characteristic roots or the eigenvalues. So since it is a cubic equation, we will get 3 eigenvalues for this problem. So we can see that lambda is common, so we can take lambda outside. So the equation becomes lambda into lambda square plus lambda minus 12 equal to 0. And again this can be written as lambda into lambda plus 4 into lambda minus 3 equal to 0. So this implies that either lambda can be 0, lambda can be minus 4, or lambda equal to 3. So we got 3 distinct eigenvalues. So these are the eigenvalues. So we got eigenvalues. Now our aim is to find the eigenvectors corresponding to each eigenvalue. So for the case 1, we will take lambda equal to 0. So when lambda equal to 0, the equation becomes AK equal to, we have AK equal to lambda x. Since lambda is 0, it becomes AK equal to 0. And the matrix A is 1, 2, 1, 6, minus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, 0. Minus 1, minus 2, here we have minus 1. Now here, since A is a 3 by 3 matrix, K, value of K, we can take it as K1, K2, K3. So our aim is to find K. So we have AK equal to 0. So this applies this into K1, K2, K3 equal to 0 matrix. So since it is 3 by 3, we will write like this. Now our aim is to find K. So what are the values of K for which this equations will be satisfied? So for this we will consider the augmented matrix. We consider the augmented matrix 1, 2, 1, 0, 6, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, 0. So these values are the values of the RHS, which is the 0 vector. Okay. Now we will apply the Gauss-Jordan method here, and we will try to convert this into the identity matrix form. Okay. So for this we will use elementary transformation here. So the first transformation here I am using is, I have to make, so we can see the first row, first element is 1. Now in this column I have to make the remaining elements as 0. So 6 and minus 1 I have to convert them to 0. So I will use some elementary transformation, and the transformation here I am using is R2 becomes R2 minus 6R1, and for R3 we can use R3 becomes R3 plus R1. So if we apply this transformation to the augmented matrix, it becomes, first row there is no change, so 1, 2, 1, 0. For the second row, we have to use R2 minus 6R1. So this becomes 0, minus 13, minus 6, 0. And the third row, we have R3 plus R1. So this becomes 0, minus 2 plus 2, so 0, minus 1 plus 1, 0, 0. Now for the first column it's fine. Now we can move to the second column. So second column, the minus 13, in this place we should have 1. So the elementary transformation what we are using is R2 becomes R2 by minus 13. So the augmented matrix now becomes, the first row is same, no change, 0. In second row, it becomes 0, 1, and this becomes 6 by 13. Here again 0. Third row same, 0, 0, 0, 0. So now we can use this matrix. So after doing elementary transformation, we got this. So it means that instead of the matrix A, now we can use this new matrix. So we have 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 6 by 13, 0, 0, 0, and unknowns are K1, K2, K3 equal to the 0 matrix, so 0, 0, 0. Now this is the matrix form. If we write the corresponding equations from here, so the first equation becomes K1 plus 2K2 plus K3 equal to 0. And the second equation becomes K2 plus 6 by 13 K3 equal to 0. So in the third row we can see that all elements are 0, so we will not get any equation here. So we have only two equations. Two equations are there and three unknowns are there. Three unknowns. Unknowns are K1, K2, K3. So from the second equation we will get K2 equal to minus 6 by 13 K3. We will substitute the value of K2 in the first equation. So from the first equation we will get, from the first equation we have K1 is equal to minus 2K2 minus K3. So for K2 we will substitute the value minus 6 by 13 K3 minus K3. So this will give you minus 1 by 13 K3. So we got the values for K1, K2 and K3. So K1 is, we got K1 equal to minus 1 by 13 K3 and K2 as minus 6 by 13 K3. Now we can give any value to K3. K3 can take any value and K1 and K2 are obtained from the respective values. So for simplicity, let K3 equal to 13. We can put any value to K3 and accordingly you will get the value of K1 and K2. So if we put K3 equal to minus 13, this implies that K1 equal to 1 and K2 equal to 6. So we got here one eigenvector K equal to K1, K2, K3 and the values are 1, 6 and K3 is minus 13. If you give different value of K3, you will get different eigenvectors. So in this way we can find many eigenvector and this is one of the eigenvector. So 1, 6 minus 13 is an eigenvector. This is an eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to 0. So we have found the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to 0. Now we will see case 2 when lambda equal to minus 4. So as we did in the case of 0, in the same way we have to proceed. So in this case we will get AK equal to minus 4K. Lambda is minus 4. So this implies A plus 4I of K equal to 0. So A plus 4I we can do it. So the matrix will be 5, 2, 1, 6, 3, 0, minus 1, minus 2, 3. And K we can take it as K1, K2, K3 equal to 0, 0, 0. Now again we will write the augmented matrix as we did in the last case. So and we will use the Gauss-Jordan method. So the augmented matrix here will be 5, 2, 1, 0, 6, 3, 0, 0, minus 1, minus 2, 3, 0. Simplicity, you can see that the first element here it is 5. So we have to make it 1. But in the third row we can see that here we have minus 1. So the operation which we can do here is, first we can multiply R3 with minus 1 and then we can interchange first row and third row. That is, we can interchange R1 and R3. So the computations will be easy. So now the matrix become 1, 2, minus 3, 0. R2 there is no change. So 6, 3, 0, 0. and R3 is our R1, so 5, 2, 1, 0. So the next elementary transformation that we use is R2 becomes R2 minus 6R1 and R3 becomes R3 minus 5R2. So the new matrix is 1, 2, minus 3, 0, 0, minus 9, 18, 0, 0, minus 8, 16, 0. And the next elementary transformation we use is R2 becomes minus R2 by 9 and R3 becomes minus R3 by 8. So the new matrix is 1, 2, minus 3, 0, 0, 1, minus 2, 0, 0, 1, minus 2, 0. And next we use the transformations. R1 becomes R1 minus 2 R2, R3 becomes R3 minus R2. So the new matrix is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 minus 2, 0, 0, 0. And here all the values are 0. So now instead of the matrix A, we can use this matrix. So we have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 minus 2, 0, 0, 0 into the matrix K1, K2, K3 equal to 0, 0, 0. So this is the matrix form. Now we will write the corresponding equation. So we have the first equation is K1 plus K3 equal to 0. From the second row, we will get the second equation, that is K2 minus 2K3 equal to 0. In the third row, all the entries are 0, so we will not get any equations. So again, we have 3 unknowns and 2 equations. 2 equations and 3 unknowns are there. So we can give arbitrary value to anyone. So from the second equation, we have K2 equal to 2K3. And from the first equation, we have K1 equal to minus K3. So we can see that K2 and K1 depends upon the value of K3. Now we can give any value to K3. So let K3 equal to 1. So this implies K2 equal to 2 and K1 equal to minus 1. So we got K equal to minus 1, 2, 1. So this is an eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda equal to minus 4. Now we have to do case 3 in the same way as we did in case 1 and 2. So here our eigenvalue lambda is equal to 3. We have to find the eigenvector corresponding to this. So I will write A minus 3i. The matrix A minus 3i is minus 2, 2, 1, 6, minus 4, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 4. So now we can write the augmented matrix directly as we did in the last two cases. So augmented matrix is minus 2, 2, 1, 0, 6, minus 4, 0, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, 0. Now again we have to do the row operation method. So by doing the Gauss-Jordan method, we can see that we can, by a sequence of elementary row operation, we will get the new matrix as 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 3 by 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. So now instead of this matrix, we can use a new matrix. So we have the new matrix is 1 0 1 0 1 3 by 2 0 0 0 into K1 K2 K3 equal to 0 0 0. Now we have to write the corresponding equations. So from the first equation we will get K1 plus K3 equal to 0. From the second row we will get K2 plus 3 by 2 K3 equal to 0. So again we have two equations and three unknowns. So we can give any value for this. We can give any value for K3. So from the second equation we will get K2 equal to minus 3 by 2 K3. And from the first equation we will get K1 equal to minus K3. Now if you give any value to K3, suppose I put K3 equal to minus 2, then I will get K2 equal to 3 and K1 equal to 2. So we get the eigenvector K equal to 2, 3 minus 2 is an eigenvector, corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to 3. So in this way we can find all the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. A matrix may have complex eigenvalues too. So in the last cases we have seen where the matrix has only real eigenvalues. Now a matrix can have complex eigenvalues also. And we will see that the complex eigenvalues, if lambda equal to alpha plus I beta is a complex eigenvalue, then its conjugate, that is alpha minus I beta, will also be an eigenvalue of A. Here we have taken A to be a real a square matrix with real entries. Moreover, if K is an eigenvector corresponding to lambda, then its conjugate K bar is an eigenvector corresponding to the conjugate of lambda, that is lambda bar. So this is very easy to prove. So first suppose that let A is a real matrix, then we have its characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. Suppose that A is an n by n square matrix with real entries. Now if lambda is a root, and suppose that lambda is a root of determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0, that is of the characteristic equation. Now we know that complex roots of an equation with real coefficients appears in conjugate pairs. So if lambda is a root, then its conjugate pair, which is lambda bar, will also be a root of this characteristic equation. That is, if lambda equal to alpha plus I beta is a root of the characteristic equation, which is a complex root, then its conjugate, complex conjugate lambda bar, which is denoted by alpha minus I beta, will also be a root of the same characteristic equation. And suppose that K is the eigenvector corresponding to this eigenvalue. If K is an eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda, which is alpha plus I beta, then we have AK equal to lambda K. Then take conjugate on both sides. So we have AK whole conjugate equal to lambda K whole conjugate. Now since A is real, A bar is A itself. So conjugate of A will be A itself. So we will get AK bar is equal to lambda bar K bar. Now this shows that K bar is an eigenvector corresponding to lambda bar. So we see that a matrix can have complex eigenvalues, and if K is an eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda, then K bar, its conjugate, will be the eigenvector corresponding to lambda bar. So this we can see by through a problem. So find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of A equal to 6 minus 1, 5, 4. So first we will write the characteristic equation. So characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0. So determinant of 6 minus lambda minus 1, 5, 4 minus lambda equal to 0. When we expand this, we will get lambda square equal to minus 10 lambda plus 29 equal to 0. Now we can find, this is a quadratic equation. We can find the roots. So the formula is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So we will get two values for lambda, 5 plus 2i and 5 minus 2i. We see that they are complex and one is a conjugate of other. Now, so we got two eigenvalues. Now we will find the eigenvectors. So first we will take the eigenvalue lambda equal to 5 plus 2i. So we will find the eigenvector. So A minus lambda of k equal to 0. So here lambda 1 is 5 plus 2i. So we will get like this, and the new matrix will be 1 minus 2i minus 1, 5 minus 1 minus 2i, k1, k2 equal to 0, 0. Now our aim is to find k1 and k2. So if we write this as an equation, we will get 1 minus 2i k1 minus k2 equal to 0. And the second one is 5k1 minus 1 minus 2i k2 equal to 0. So we will get k2 equal to 1 minus 2i k1 from the first equation. So if we put k1 equal to 1, we see that k2 equal to 1 minus 2i. So we got 1 minus 2i is an eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 5 plus 2i. Now for finding the eigenvector of its conjugate, we have to find the conjugate of k. So here k is 1 minus 2i. So its conjugate is k bar, which will be 1 plus 2i. So we can say that 1 plus 2i is an eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to 5 minus 2i. So next we will prove a relation between the singularity of the matrix and the eigenvalues. So if let A be an n by n matrix, then the number lambda equal to 0 is an eigenvalue of A if and only if A is singular. So if A is a singular matrix, singular means its determinant is 0, then only 0 will be an eigenvalue of the matrix A. So we can also say that the matrix A will be non-singular if and only if A0 is not an eigenvalue. Okay, so if for a matrix, if 0 is not an eigenvalue, we can say that it is non-singular. If 0 is an eigenvalue, then A is singular. We have if and only if condition. So this we can prove here. So first suppose that A is singular. So A is singular means its determinant is 0. Determinant of A is equal to 0. So we know that the characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. This is a characteristic equation. It is a polynomial in lambda and it will be an nth degree polynomial since A is an n by n matrix. And suppose, so the nth degree polynomial will have n roots, and suppose the roots are lambda 1, lambda 2, etc., lambda n. So we can write the characteristic equation as determinant of A minus lambda I is equal to lambda 1 minus lambda, lambda 2 minus lambda, etc., lambda n minus lambda, because lambda 1, lambda 2, etc., lambda n are the roots of this equation. So lambda 1 minus lambda will be a factor. Similarly, lambda n minus lambda will be a factor. So we can write like this. Now in this equation, put lambda equal to 0. So if you put lambda equal to 0, this implies determinant of A. LHS will be determinant of A equal to, we will get lambda 1 into lambda 2, lambda 3, etc., lambda n. So it shows that determinant of A is, determinant of the matrix A is product of eigenvalues. Product of eigenvalues. So which is a very important result, that is determinant of a matrix is nothing but it is the product of the eigenvalues. Now, if determinant of A is equal to 0, if determinant of A equal to 0 means this product is 0. This implies lambda 1, lambda 2, etc., lambda n equal to 0. Now this product will be 0 if any one of the eigenvalue equal to 0. So lambda I equal to 0 for some I. Any one of the eigenvalue equal to 0. So it means that at least one of the eigenvalue must be 0. So this implies 0 is an eigenvalue of A. So we have proved the one part. Now for the converse part, suppose that lambda equal to 0 is an eigenvalue. Okay, so if lambda equal to 0 is an eigenvalue, this implies that lambda I equal to 0 for some I. So since one eigenvalue lambda is 0, we see that the product is 0. Lambda 1, lambda 2, etc., lambda n, the product will be 0. So if the product is 0, we know that determinant of A is the product of the eigenvalue. So if the product is 0, this implies that determinant of A is equal to 0. And this implies that A is singular. So we have proved the result that if lambda equal to 0 is an eigenvalue, if and only if A is singular. So we can also say that a matrix is non-singular if and only if the number 0 is not an eigenvalue. Now we will see the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of A inverse. So let A be a non-singular matrix, and if lambda is an eigenvalue of A with corresponding eigenvector k, then 1 by lambda is an eigenvalue of A inverse with the same corresponding eigenvector k. So if we know the eigenvalue of the matrix A, we can very easily find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of the matrix A inverse. So eigenvalues will be 1 by lambda and eigenvectors will be same. Okay. So so we can prove this very easily. So if A is an n by n matrix, and since we are talking about A inverse, we must ensure that A is non-singular. Then only it will have an inverse. So suppose that A inverse exists, and we know that none of the eigenvalues of A are 0. Now suppose that lambda is an eigenvalue of A corresponding to the eigenvector k. So we have AK equal to lambda k. Now we multiply both sides by A inverse. So we will get A inverse AK equal to lambda A inverse k. So it implies IK equal to lambda A inverse k. So A inverse k equal to 1 by lambda k. So by the definition, it means that 1 by lambda is the eigenvalue of A inverse and k is the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue 1 by lambda. So if lambda is an eigenvalue of A corresponding to the eigenvector k, then 1 by lambda is the eigenvalue of A inverse and it corresponds to the same eigenvector k. So there is no change in the eigenvector. Now we will see about triangular and diagonal matrices. We have an important result which says that the eigenvalue of an upper triangular, lower triangular and diagonal matrix are the main diagonal entries. So what is an upper triangular matrix? So for a square matrix is said to be upper triangular if all the entries below the diagonal. So all the entries below the main diagonal are 0, then we say it to be upper triangular. For example, this matrix, so 1, 3 are the diagonal elements. So below the main diagonal, the elements are 0. So this is an example of an upper triangular matrix. Now it is said to be lower triangular if all the entries above the main diagonal are 0. And it is said to be a diagonal matrix if the non-zero elements except the diagonal elements or non-zero elements occur only in the main diagonal. So all remaining elements are 0. So only in the main diagonal we have non-zero elements. So the theorem says that the eigenvalues of an upper triangular, lower triangular and diagonal matrix are the main diagonal entries. So what are the diagonal entries? Those will be the eigenvalues. For example, in the first matrix, the eigenvalues will be 1, 3. The second matrix also 1, 3, and in the third matrix also the eigenvalues are 1, 3, even though the matrices are different. So for example, you consider a 3 by 3 matrix A equal to 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 3. So here we see that the diagonal elements. So what are the diagonal elements? Diagonal elements are 1, 1, 3. And we can see that below the diagonal elements. So these are the diagonal elements. So below the diagonal elements, all elements are 0. So this is an example of an upper triangular matrix. So for an upper triangular matrix, the eigenvalues will be the diagonal elements. So the eigenvalues are 1, 1, 3. So these are the eigenvalues. Also we know that determinant of A is the product of the eigenvalues. So determinant of A in this case will be 1 into 1 into 3, which is 3, which is a non-zero value, which implies that A is non-singular. Since 0 is not an eigenvalue, the eigenvalues are 1, 1 and 3. So we can see that the matrix is non-singular, and it also implies that A inverse, its inverse also exists. And what will be the eigenvalues of A inverse? So from a known theorem, we know that the eigenvalues of A inverse will be the reciprocal of the eigenvalues of A. So 1 by 1, 1. Again, reciprocal of 1 is 1 and reciprocal of 3 is 1 by 3. So we got the eigenvalues of A inverse as 1, 1, 1 by 3. So in this class, we have studied about complex eigenvalues and many properties of singular matrices and how to find the eigenvalues, how to interpret some data if the matrix are a triangular, lower triangular or a diagonal matrix. Okay, so we will stop here. Thank you.